How's it going, everybody? Woodcarving man. If you've been on my channel long enough, you know that I kind of have a proclivity for things that go bump in the night. I like to carve things a little on the spookier and cuter side. As a kid growing up, I was obsessed with cryptids. My primary cryptid was Nessie. I absolutely wanted to see Nessie when I was a kid like you wouldn't believe. I did get the opportunity to go to Scotland. I did get to go out on Loch Ness. Unfortunately, Nessie didn't show up that day. But that being said, throughout the next couple weeks, I'm going to start up a series called Journey with Cryptids. And we're going to be pulling from this book right here, United States of Cryptids. The first cryptid we're going to carve today is a little beastie called the Whitehall Bigfoot. So we're going to grab a carving knife and a trusty carving glove, and let's get started.
On the night of August 24th, 1976, teenagers Paul Gosselin and Martin Paddock were driving around the lonely roads through the farmlands. Near outside of town on their way to do some fishing on Aber Road, they encountered a monster. They heard it first, a sound like the squeal of a pig or the scream of a woman in distress. They loaded their shotguns and turned the truck around to see, and what they saw was human-like, muscular, 7 or 8 feet tall. With dark fur and red eyes. You know the guy, Bigfoot. It charged them, so they peeled out of there, leaving a black trail of burned rubber behind them. They encountered Paul's 24-year-old brother Brian Gosselin, an officer with the local police department. Brian dutifully reported the monster sighting, first calling up his father, a police sergeant in the Whitehall, and then the state police and the sheriff's department afterwards. He couldn't check out the area himself because he was on duty and had to stay in the village, but meanwhile, Paul and Martin picked up their friend Bart Kinney, drove back to Arbor Road, and encountered the creature again. And eventually, an old-fashioned search party of about a dozen people was formed on Arbor Road. Some of the party, including police officers, saw the creature across the meadow, but it was long gone before they could catch up to it. The next day, Brian Gosselin revisited the scene with a state trooper, spotlighting the creature with his flashlight from 30 feet away. It seemed to throw its hands in front of its face, and then walked off into the woods. But later, in writing about the encounter in his book, Arbor Road, The True Story, Gosselin attempted to explain his reaction. "I can't really describe what I was feeling. Shock, and yes, fear. I was face to face with something that shouldn't exist, but it was right there in front of me." Over the next week, several people in the area of Arbor Road reported seeing a large, dark creature loping through the forests and fields. But as always when it comes to these cryptic events, nobody can ever really truly tell. Not many videos have ever really surfaced of something that can be wholly and unheartedly believable. And so with all these different phenomena coming around, it's truly up to you whether you believe it or not. Let me know down in the comments, and thank you all so much for watching that.